Loretta Sanchez, the Congresswoman from the state of California. Thank you.
Now there's a Linda I really love. Okay, so, hello Denver. I have to tell you, these conventions are so exciting for me. The first one I ever went to was in Chicago, when nobody thought I could win. I was running against that bad guy, Bob Dornan. So I go to this convention and nobody cares. And I'm walking around and they're making me wait in lines and I have no credentials and I'm hitting everybody up for money. Like a good candidate does. You know, that candidate the DCCC doesn't have up here, the DNC doesn't have up here, nobody knows about. And then I had a friend do me a favor. Hillary spoke at the Hispanic Caucus. And after that, my friend let me speak after her. And I have to tell you, in that speech, I began by saying that we, the Hispanics of this country, have earned our residency, our citizenship, and our right to be a part of the United States. We have earned it when our men, and yes, our women, go off to foreign lands and spill their blood on behalf of this country, sometimes not even accorded residency or citizenship to this country. I recently buried my favorite uncle, my Uncle Joe, just last month. And you know, he was my favorite, y yo era la consentida. No, I was, of course, his favorite because I'm everybody's favorite. And I went to his service, the rosary and everything, and then people started to talk about him. And they said, you know, Jose Macias did this, and Jose Macias did that. And I looked around and I thought, who is Jose Macias? Because to me, my Uncle Joe was always Uncle Joe. And then I realized, for 50 years, my uncle had lived in this country and he had never become a citizen. And the day that his daughter decided to run for politics, he went down and he became a United States citizen. And that's the day he could go around and say he was Jose Macias and not Joe Macias. Imagine that. I say this because this uncle never served in the armed forces of the United States, although he tried 4 times to get in. Somebody who yet wasn't a citizen, but went and tried to enlist each and every time in each of our services. And he had a bad ear. And they caught him each time, and they didn't let him in. But our families have that tradition. Our families have the tradition of standing up for this country, even when this country denies us los papeles para estar en este país, even when they mistreat us. And that day when I spoke after Hillary and I talked about how we had earned it. And somehow, the little room where they put the Hispanic Caucus that day, it doesn't compare to the power we see in front of us today. But that power in that room was so strong. That was the day that you all backed me, and I went on to get a seat in the House of Representatives. And I want to thank you for believing in me. 12 years later, I sit as the chairwoman, among other things, of the Border Security Committee in the Congress. The unwritten power, the power we don't see every day on television, but the power to stop a fence that looks just like the fence put up in Germany, the power to stop them from detaining and breaking up our families and sending mothers away from their children, the power to say, stop breaking the environmental laws and do these things right. This Bush administration has done everything to harm our families. Let me end by saying we have the power to take the White House and the Congress to new heights. You have the power. And Latinas, we have the power. We have the power. I love you guys. And I know that you love this country. And let me just say, when I came 12 years ago, I realized that America dreamt in black and white. But we, as Mexicanos, Puertorriqueños, Cubanos, personas del Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Latin Americans, we dream the big dreams. We dream the dreams of color. We dream of the tomorrows. We dream of seeing our children, just as my parents today see the first two sisters and the first two daughters in the United States Congress. We dream the unbelievable. And we dream it in color. So, I want to let you know, my sister and I have our story to tell, and I hope you'll all come by and read so that you too can tell us your dream, and you too can dream the American dream. But let's face it, let's dream it big. And this election, if we do it right, will allow us to dream the biggest dream the world has ever seen. And with the right Congress beside Obama, with the right Congress, with a Democratic Congress, with a Congress with Joe Garcia, with Raul Martinez, and with Annette out of Florida, and the other Hispanics, we too
I was hoping for that.
will participate in the big, big dream. God bless you. Que Dios los bendiga.